Hello viewers, welcome to UN Digital Class. Now in this lecture I am going to discuss about NIST digital signature algorithm. In my previous lecture I have already discussed about the Elgamal digital signature scheme. Now let us start. First of all we will discuss about the digital signature standard. Here the USA government approved the signature scheme. That means the digital signature standard is approved by the USA government and it is designed by NIST and NASA in early 90s, and this scheme is published as FIPS 186 in 1991. Then again it is revised in 1993, 1996 and 2000, and this scheme uses the Haas algorithm, that is the SHA Haas algorithm. And this digital signature standard is nothing but it is a standard, but the DSA is the digital signature algorithm, and the FIPS 186-2000 includes alternative RSA and electric curve signature variants. That means this digital signature standard uses the RSA and the elective curve. Then the digital signature algorithm is a digital signature only, unlike the RSA, that is the public key crypto system algorithm, and it is a public key technique. Now look at the difference between the digital signature standard and the RSA signature or the RSA algorithm. First of all we discuss about the RSA approach. Now look at this figure. In this figure M is nothing but that is the message which is created by the sender. Now this message is taken by the hash function, that is the capital H. Now the hash function takes this message and produce the hash value, and here the output of the hash function is nothing but that is the hash value or the message digest. Now this hash value is encrypted by using some encryption algorithm, and here E represents the encryption, and this encryption algorithm uses the key, that is the private key of the sender, which is represented by PRA. After encrypting the hash value, then this encrypted hash value is appended with the original message M. After appending this message and the encrypted hash value, then the sender transmits it over the network to the receiver. Now look at the receiver side. At the receiver side, when the receiver receives this appended message, first it takes the original message, that is the M. Then it applies the hash function to find out the hash value. That means it takes the original message M and applies the hash function, that is capital H, and find out the hash value. Again it takes the encrypted hash value and it decrypts this encrypted hash value to generate the hash value which is sent by the sender. That means it applies some decryption algorithm which is represented by D, and here it used the key, that is PUA, which is nothing but that is the public key of the sender, because this hash value is encrypted by using the sender, and the sender uses the key, that is the private key of that sender, which means when the receiver wants to decrypt this value, the receiver must use the public key of the sender, which is nothing but that is the PUA. Now look at here. Here when the receiver decrypts the encrypted hash value, then it gets the hash value which is sent by the sender, and it also calculated the hash value from the message which is transmitted from the sender. After calculating this hash value, then it compare both the hash value. If both the hash values are same, then the receiver assures that there is no modification in the message. If the hash values are different, then there is some modification in the message before the receiver receives. This is nothing but this is the RSA approach. Now look at the DSS approach. Here this is the digital signature approach. Now look at the figure. In this figure M represents the message. Now this M is taken by the hash function, that is the capital H. Now the hash function generates the hash value. Now this hash value is given input to the signature algorithm. And here the signature algorithm also takes a random number, that is K, and the public parameters which are represented by PUG, and it also takes the private key of the sender. By taking all these things, then the signature generation algorithm generates the signature for the sender. After generating the signature, now the original message and the signature both are appended, and here the signature generates two things, that is the S and R. Now this S and R and the original message all are transmitted to the receiver. Now look at the receiver side. When the receiver receives this appended message, that means the original message M and the signature which contains S and R. After receiving these things, now the receiver first takes the original message and it applies the hash function, that is the capital H, and generate the hash value. Now here at the receiver side, it uses the verification algorithm to verify the signature of the sender, whether the signature is valid or not. Now look at the verification algorithm. Here the verification algorithm takes the input, that is the hash value generated by the receiver from the original message M, and the signature which is received from the sender. That means the value of S and R, and again it also takes the public parameter, that is PUG, and the public key of the sender, that is PUA, and the verification algorithm verifies and generates a value, and that value is compared with the R value which is sent by the sender. If both the values are equal, that means the signature is a valid signature. Otherwise, it is an invalid signature. In this way, the receiver first verifies the signature. After that, it considers the message, whether this message is a valid message or not. This is nothing but this is the digital signature algorithm approach. Next, digital signature algorithm. This signature algorithm creates a 320-bit signature with 512 and 1024-bit security. And this signature is smaller and faster than the RSA approach. And it provides the security, and that security depends on the difficulty of computing discrete logarithm, because this algorithm uses the discrete logarithm. And it is nothing but it is a variant of Elgamal and Schachner signature scheme. Next, digital signature algorithm key generation, which means in digital signature you have to remember that three things are important. First one is the key generation, second one is the signature generation, and third one is the signature verification. Every digital signature algorithm follows these three steps. Here the key generation and the signature generation is performed by the sender, and the verification is performed by the receiver. Now first look at the key generation. Here the sender and receiver have shared global public key values, that is P, Q and G. That means here P, Q and G, these three are nothing but these are the global variables. Next, choose 160-bit prime number, that is Q. Next, choose a large prime number P whose value is greater than from 2 to the power L minus 1 and less than from 2 to the power L, where L is equal to 512 and 1024 bits is a multiple of 64. such that Q is a 160-bit prime divisor of P minus 1. That means in global parameter we have to choose three things. First one is the Q, that is one of the prime number, and P is also another prime number, and next one is the G. Here you have to choose H and find out the G, where G is equal to H to the power P minus 1 by Q mod P, where the H value lies between 1 and P minus 1. That means the H is greater than from 1 and less than P minus 1. Now user choose the private key and generates the public key. Here first the user choose a random private key, suppose that is X, and that X is less than Q. Here Q is the prime number and X is a random number selected by the sender. Now the sender computes the public key, that is Y, which is equal to G to the power X mod P. This is all about the key generation in DSA approach. That means in key generation, the sender creates its key pair which contains the private key and the public key. Next is digital signature algorithm creation, which means it is nothing but it is the signature generation. In signature generation, to sign a message M, the sender generates a random signature key, that is the K, and where K is less than Q. Next, K must be random, be destroyed after use and never be used. That means during the signature generation, the sender first chooses the message, that is the capital M. Then it generates a random number which is K, and that K must be used during the signature generation process, and after that this K value is destroyed. Next, digital signatures creation. That means this is the signature generation algorithm. Now look at here. Here the sender generates the signatures pair, and the signature pair contains the value of R and S. R is equal to G to the power K mod P mod Q, and S is calculated as, that is equal to K inverse H of M, which is nothing but that is the hash value or hash function, plus XR. Here X is nothing but that is the private key of the sender, and mod Q. That means in signature creation or signature generation, the sender generates the value of R and S. After generating this value of R and S, then this signature is appended with the original message M, and it is transmitted over the network to the receiver. When the receiver receives this appended message with the signature, then the receiver first uses the signature verification algorithm. Now look at the signature verification algorithm. Here the receiver verifies the signature, and for verification, first of all it computes the value of W, which is equal to S inverse mod Q. Here S is nothing but that is the signature, and which is equal to K H of M plus XR inverse mod Q. Then the receiver generates the value of U1, which is equal to H of M W mod Q. Then it calculates the value of U2, which is equal to RW mod Q. After that, it calculates the value of V, which is equal to G to the power U1 Y to the power U2 mod P whole mod Q. After generating this V value, then the receiver compare this V value with the R value which is received from the sender. When this V value is equal to the R value, then the signature is a valid signature. Otherwise, the signature is an invalid signature. Now, look at the signature verification process. In the signature verification process, the receiver takes the public parameter, that is the P, Q and G. Here G value is equal to h to the power p minus 1 by Q, which is greater than 1 mod P. Then it takes the value of R and S, which is nothing but, and these R and S are the signature pair. That means the verification algorithm takes the public parameter P, Q, G and the signature parameter, that is R and S, and it also takes the random number value, that is the K. Then it verifies the signature. When it verifies the signature, first of all it calculates the value of V, that is equal to G to the power U1 y to the power U2 mod P whole mod Q. Then it calculate U1, which is equal to HM W mod Q. Then it calculate W, that is equal to S inverse mod Q. And again it calculate U2, which is equal to RW mod Q. After calculating all these values, then it compare the value of V with the value of R. Now look at here. Here we prove whether the value of V is equal to the value of R or not. First of all, you have to take the value of V, that is equal to G to the power U1 y to the power U2 mod P, then whole mod Q. Here in first step, you replace the value of U1 and U2. After replacing the value of U1 and U2, then you replace the value of Y. In this way, you perform all the replacement and process the algorithm to calculate whether the value of V is equal to value of R or not. Now, look at here. The last step. In the last step, we calculated the value of V equal to value of R. That means here the signature is a valid signature. Now this figure shows the DSS overview. That means this figure basically shows the signature generation algorithm. Now look at this figure. In this figure, the signature generation algorithm takes the original message and a random number K, and from the original message it generates the hash value by using the hash function, that is capital H. When it generates the hash value, after that it calculates the value of S, and for calculating the value of S it takes the random number K and the private key of the sender, that is X, and the S value is calculated as K inverse H of M plus X R mod Q. Before calculating the S value, first of all it calculates the R value, and for calculating the R value it takes the public parameter, that is P, Q, G, and the secret number or the random number K. From that it calculates the R value, which is equal to G to the power K mod P whole mod Q. After calculating the R value, then it calculates the S value. When the R value and S value are calculated, then the sender creates the signature pair that contains the value of R and S. After generating the signature pair, then the original message is appended with this signature pair and transmitted to the receiver. Now look at the verification process. Here this figure shows the verification of a signature. For verifying the signature, when the receiver receives the appended message with the signatures pair, first it applies the hash function to calculate the hash value from the message received from the sender. Now look at here. Here it calculated the hash value, that is H of M. After calculating the hash value, it calculates the value of U1, U2 and V. When it calculates the value of V, then it compares this value of V with the value of R, which is received from the sender. When this value of V is equal to the value of R, then the signature is a valid signature. This is all about the digital signature algorithm. If you have any doubt regarding this digital signature algorithm, you can write me through comment. I will reply you and discuss about your doubt. Thank you for watching.